I'm happy to be here with my friend Henrik from Microsoft in Denmark. I have 30 minutes to tell you all about what Microsoft SIM is about and what it can do for you. That's pretty tough. So what I've done is I've picked out 5 places where I can see businesses are using Microsoft SIM. So it's very practical, and I hope you leave this room and have a thought about where you can start by implementing CRM and what it could do for you. So maybe I'll try this one here, but I don't have to go back and forth. Yeah. So what is CRM about? It's about handling the information we already have regarding our customers and all the upcoming new activities and information we are going to have. To have a place to work with all that information. That's what CRM is about. So it's about having information and keeping that knowledge and use that knowledge for a better purpose. To make a better loyalty to our customers, presenting a better service, contacting the customers at the right time. I actually have a real life case here I want to talk to you about. It's a couple of years ago, but I remember it very clear. I was talking to a customer in Denmark, and he was actually telling me about a case that never gets started, and he didn't win this case. But the way to gather information is possible in a lot of ways, and this is just one story. He was actually at a party, a Christmas party, and at that Christmas party he was sitting next to, just like a table like this, and sitting next to a couple of guys from other companies. And one of those guys was actually working in a municipality. Actually it was in Copenhagen municipality. And there was a larger project going on to put in new pipes in the ground on the roads. And he needed some manufacturing to bid on this project to invest in those pipes. And he was saying, hey, I can do that. I'm coming from a manufacturing company. I'm providing those pipes for you. So let's talk about that. And they spent the rest of the evening talking about pipes and the municipality and all stuff around that area. And he actually thought that I have an opportunity here. At my Christmas party, I have an opportunity. It was actually around €500,000. So it was a good case for him. And I asked him, okay, and after that dinner party here, he was going home, and he was going home in a taxi. And I was asking him, okay, so when you were going home in taxi, are you going to expense your taxi bill? Yeah, of course, it was a business arrangement. So of course he was going to expense his taxi receipt for €40. Okay, so how do we do that? And he was saying that in our company it's a pretty crazy process we have for that. Because what we actually do is that we take this receipt and we put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and that spreadsheet we upload it to a SharePoint site, but I also have to print it, and I have to take my receipt and put it on paper and stick it on that paper, and that paper I have to take a copy, and that copy I put it in an envelope, but the original I put it in another envelope. And I can see you already smiling down there. So I guess you know this process of handling expenses. And this process here is not far away from what we're actually doing in Microsoft in Denmark. so the way of handling expenses. And after that he has to go to his manager, who has to sign this document. And then he could put it in a special box at the mailroom, a yellow box. And in that the expenses should be put, and he will get his money. Crazy as hell. But you know what? There was a process for handling expenses. There was a system to support it. And there was actually intelligence behind it, because if he didn't put the envelope in the box, in the yellow box, and if he didn't put his manager to subscribe it, to sign it, then actually the process will contact him by email and say, hey, you didn't do this and this and this. Please correct it. Otherwise the process will stop. Okay, wow. I guess some of you can put yourself into the same situation of handling expenses. So crazy stuff like expenses for 40 euros. But actually, when I'm asking him, what about the opportunity for €500,000? So what is your system and process for that? And he was looking at me as, what? And that was actually the problem here, because after going home from this dinner party, Christmas dinner party, he was rather drunk and going to bed immediately, and suddenly it was Monday morning. And at Monday morning he did what he did every Monday morning, work as he used to do, and forgot completely the talk he had Friday afternoon, Friday night. After a month, he's telling me that he actually found out, wow, I did talk to somebody at the Copenhagen municipality. There was something about some pipes. What was his name? I can't remember now. What is it about? And he tried to find out to find the person again, and he did actually. And they said, hi, yeah, funny night, and good to talk to you again, and stuff like that. And he asked him, what about this case we talked about the pipes? Oh, we have already closed that down. We chose another vendor to implement that. So I didn't hear from you, so we just continue with those we already were talking to. And he lost this deal for €500,000. So why CRM? He told me, that is why I want CRM. That's it. I want CRM to handle all the information I get from my customers. What I want is, when I'm sitting in the cab, I want to have a mobile in front of me, my smartphone, my iPhone. I didn't say that. But I have my phone, and I can just type in Copenhagen municipality, his name is Brian, pipes, contact him Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And that should go into a system, and there should be a process to handle that. So if I don't contact him at Monday morning at 9 o'clock, there should be a process sending me an email and say, hey, you didn't contact Brian because this activity is still open. He didn't have a system, he didn't have a process, he don't have any intelligence behind anything at all regarding an opportunity for €500,000, but he had for an expense for 40 euros. That's why companies choose to have Microsoft CRM or at CRM at all. So my presentation is not about Microsoft CRM. We're going to hear that later today and see it. But my 30 minutes now is going to be around why CRM at all. And this customer bought CRM to handle this and have a system for it. Okay, so when we have all those customer information, what is the purpose of having it? It is sharing the important knowledge we already have regarding our customers, and actually use that information to improve the possibility of achieving a common goal. Okay? Let's talk about football. In football, it actually is like you're fighting against 11 people on the field, and if you're alone on that field and playing alone, as a salesperson, as account manager, as a marketing coordinator, or whatever it is, I guess you won't be scoring at the other end, right? It's difficult for you alone to go through 11 people. You could be Messi, but he's very expensive. But otherwise, you won't be able to do it, right? So what is needed on a football, in a soccer match to do that? It is that you know we have a common goal, that our 11 people here wants to score and win this match. That is our common goal. And we have some knowledge and insight and some processes to handle that. So if I'm running to the right, my other attacker will run to the left, and he knows that I'll send in a high ball. In that way, we can go behind the defense and score. We have agreed upon that. We have a common way to work to win this in a common goal. Right? So what is your common goal to win customers and win more at your customers? A lot of companies are not working together. Sometimes in large companies, it actually is possible to make what we call cross-sell and upsell, to sell more to existing customers from another department. But those departments don't know we have this customer because we're not talking together. So there's no sharing of information. I have a large customer in Denmark who's actually a consultancy house who is having different products to sell. And actually CRM is coming from that company, not from management, but from the bottom up. So the people on the floor, the councils, the consultancies, the administrators are saying, we don't know what that's going on in our company. We have different business units. But it's pretty stupid to get out to a customer and say, okay, nice to meet you, what can we do for you? You're already here. I have 2 other units working here, didn't you know that? So it actually seems pretty stupid when they're visiting customers, because they don't know who is talking to who. They don't have a common goal, they're not running for each other on the football field. This is also why people choose Microsoft CRM, to better work together in a company. So what is information? Information is good to have. You need to have information. You will get more and more information about your customers. And what could information be? That's an open question for you guys. Come on, shoot. What is it? What could information be about our customers? Do I need XM software to answer that question? What? Please help me out, just one here.
Can be products or names, contacts?
Yeah. Names, contacts, products, competitor information, meeting notes, contracts, service level agreements, right? So it could actually be a lot of stuff. This is just stuff I put in 2 minutes, right? It could continue. How about the orders? How about our agreements? How about relations? This CEO knows the CEO over here. Aha. Who knows that? I don't. I don't have a CRM system, so I don't know about it. But if I knew about it, I could actually use that relation. But we don't have the information. So it could be a lot of things. That's pretty complex, right? So all that information here, where is that put? What system? Where do you have all this? Do I need to look at the same guy again?
In CRM.
In CRM. Nice to hear. Do we have CRM today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's why she is saying that, because otherwise you would be saying it is on a hard drive. It is on a company drive. It's on my laptop. It is in my head. It is on yellow stickers. It is on paper. It is in my car, at my home, in my Outlook, in my calendar. It is as task in the Outlook. You see my point? So it's all different places, and you cannot have a full picture of that. Maybe you could, as account manager for this customer, know your yellow stickers and your papers in your car. But your colleagues, they don't. They're not in your car, they're not in your Outlook, they're not on your desk. Right? So how do you achieving a common goal when you don't share any information at all? This picture here is actually why customers buy CRM a lot in those financial crises we have right now. This is about the rhythm of the business. So what you have here, you know all that this here is a strategic, tactical, operational layer of a customer, of a company, and the strategic layer is also the layer who is setting the goal for this company. What is our mission? What is our strategic mission? What is it that we want to accomplish? And that goal is very often being activated down through the organization in different kind of ways for different managers. And the problem with this is that those who's actually talking to the market, to the customers, whether it's B2B or whether it's B2C, there is people in the organization who is talking to the market. The market could also be our partners we have. It could also be our customers, our end customers, you and me, or other companies, right? So the market could be whoever we talk to and try to sell to. Who's talking with them? Is that the strategic layer? Only if you have a crisis, right? So who's talking to them? It's of the operational layer. Okay? So this is the salesperson. This is the marketing coordinator who is arranging an event like this. It is the account manager, right? It is the serviceman who is driving in his car out and try to handle a problem with a machine. They're talking to the market. But where do we put all that talk, all that information? This is CRM. But if you don't have a CRM system, you don't have that information. So how are you able to analyze in your company what you are activating, how that is going to affect the market? What are people actually saying? When you set up a new product, a new line, a new way of communication, a new marketing event, whatever you do, how do you analyze how it's actually working? We could monitor this once a year, and we make some kind of a survey to our customers. Yeah, right. That's exactly what a lot of companies has been doing for a lot of years. And it's been working because of good times. But in crisis, you are not able to do this once a year. Because while you are waiting, I don't know why I'm spilling out here, sorry. While you are waiting for a year to go to make your survey, in that year you will have a crisis. And maybe you're not even there as a company after 1 year. So the point here is, if you're setting up some goals to make more revenue in your company, you're going to activate that down through your organization. You have a CRM tool down here to monitor what is going on and all the activities. Is this working or not? And you can analyze that by the CRM system back to the management. But the point here is time and how often this wheel is running. Right? So if we can get this wheel up and running, not once a year, but once half a year? What about once a month? What about if we every day, every morning could get this wheel up and running? What we are doing, how is it affecting the market and what is the market saying? And analyze that. We're not waiting a year and see how it's going in a survey. We're actually seeing right now how is the market responding, what is going on, what are we working on, and we can do something about it immediately. So people are saying, companies are saying, we were asleep when the crisis started, and now we are on our tail here, right? We're not aggressively enough to the crisis. We are behind the crisis. We need to know what's going on faster, so we can adapt to it, right? It's agility. This is why people buy CRM, to know what's actually going on in the market and change it as fast as possible. Okay? You are very quiet here. I hope I'm not. I hope you're not leaving within the next 15 minutes. Okay, why implement CRM software? This is another. Okay, I just have to click on all of them. Okay, look guys. It's very, very complex. Some of you are coming from very large companies. You have a lot of products, right? And if you did this with XM software or Microsoft, or if you did it on your own, you'll suddenly see the complexity. Maybe you already know the complexity. But if you have different products down here, right? It could be a lot. You have different ways of communication, right? There's a web page, there's a seminar like this, there's direct mails, there's salespeople, and continue like that. Different ways of communication. But the market is also different, right? Some of it could be enterprise markets, some of them could be the Norwegian market, some of it could be the US market, some could be the small market in Iceland, some could be women, some could be children. The market could be different segments. My question to you is, in your daily life, how would you handle all this without a CRM system? How would you handle different products with different communications to different markets? that triangle here is very difficult to handle from a marketing point of sight, right? And if you put a fourth dimension into this, which is actually time, because if I can do this right now, in my Excel spreadsheet setup, what are we actually doing? Yeah, right? Tomorrow that's too old, because tomorrow we do something else, right? So if we put the fourth dimension on this, which is time, saying over time, over a year, you will do a lot of different products, new products, with different kind of communications to different markets, all mixed up with 500 employees who have good ideas how to handle all this. If you don't have a CRM system to monitor this and track this, to achieving a common goal, to improve the rhythm of the business, right? To store and use the knowledge you are doing here and put it down on the customers so we can see what's actually going on. Are they taking our information positive or negative? How do we work with the customers regarding to all what we are doing in marketing? It's hugely complex. And I have seen diagrams for this on a board like this with the arrows going in all different ways of how to handle all this and the processes regarding it. Back to the taxi cab and the pipe opportunity. Where is the system? Where is the process for handling all this? So this marketing way of thinking, CRM, thinking how to attack customers and work with customers and have a system to handle it, that's also why people buy CRM. Another way is that an organization with a lot of salespeople or account managers is actually using CRM to think about how are we using our resources to our customers. And when you see a segmentation, some people have segmentation, some of you don't. But when you are thinking about segmentation, actually customers are also thinking about their internal resources. That could be new to some of you, because you could actually put that segmentation of customers, aligning it with, if you have large customers who is buying everything from you, right? So if you are selling chairs and you have Microsoft as a customer and you have sold all 100,000 chairs, that's an A1 customer. And if it's an A1 customer, you need to have what we call a farmer focus. Farmer focus is people who is good at handling existing customers and driving them to rebuy their furnitures with us. But if it's a customer down here, come on. If the customer down here, it could be a large customer here, it could be IBM. So if you have IBM, but it's a zero, that you haven't not sold a single share or anything at all to that customer. It's an A1 customer or 8-0 customer. And then it's a hunter focus you need to have, right? It's sales people who can kick in the door and work with this customer here. So if you have 20,000 customers, how do you know who is what and how you are going to handle those customers in daily life? It's easy for us to sit down and say, well, 2,000 we put over here and 2,000 over here. You can easily do that. But how are you actually changing the way you are working in your daily life? Right? It's not an Excel spreadsheet task we're doing. It's a way of changing the way we actually are working with our customers. So let's stay at this segmentation here. Another inspiration for you is a lot of customers is actually, I try to ask a new question. I hope somebody would help me out here. If we're talking about segmentation, some of you is doing segmentation, right? Is some of you segmentation your customers?
Yes.
Yes. And what are you doing that based on? Is it typically I would say it is because of revenue, right? The past revenue of that customer is depending on whether he's an A1 customer or a B3 customer, right? It's based on revenue in the past.
As well as other things, loyalty, and
Sorry.
as well as loyalty and
Yeah. As well as loyalty, and a lot of different other factors could be in that segmentation in the parameters to define whether it is an A1 customer or A3 customer. So that's depending on how complex you want to do this. But you could also be thinking about segmentation of your customers based on future growth. So A1 customer is not Microsoft because we have sold 100,000 shares to Microsoft. But our A1 customer is Microsoft based on that we are able to sell 100,000 shares to Microsoft. We want Microsoft to be up here. So it's based on what we believe we are able to do, our participation on what's going on. And if I put a customer in here, is that just it? No, it's not, and that's where CRM is playing a role. Because the customer who is here, or the customer who is here, if you are here, there is several things that needs to be done. We agree upon, if we have a customer here, it is 4 visits a year. It is a special service agreement you make with a higher discount. It is whatever it is. It is executive sponsorship in our company and stuff like that. But if it's a customer which is a small customer and we are only selling, there are 10 people and we are only selling 3 chairs to them, he will probably be down here. He will not get 4 visits a year and executive sponsorship. He will get a phone call and say, do you need 6 chairs? No, okay, see you next year. We don't spend our time on this guy here. We would rather spend the same time and effort on those customers up here. So the question is, the point here is, it's not to put them in an Excel spreadsheet and say, hey, you are here. The point is to move customers and say, we have 20 customers here, but we want to move those customers to here or here or here. And what do we do to do that? If we look at the same picture in 1 year, we want those customers to be up here, right? Okay, how do we do that? And people buy CRM to handle the relationships with the customers, to make sure that the process that's needed to move the customer is done in CRM. CRM brings the intelligence to the system and move it away from just a spreadsheet. Okay, sales managers is buying CRM based on this model here. It's not from I'm not the one who's created this model here. But R is E multiplied with C. Our result is based on our efforts multiplied with our competencies to do it. So if I am going to fish, it's pretty important for me to know, is it in a lake, river, sea, on a boat? Where is it? Based on what kind of tool do I need? What do I need to bring with me based on where I'm going to fish? And it's also pretty important that I put an effort into this, because without throwing out my fishing stick here to hopefully get a fish, if I don't do that at all, my result will probably be 0, right? If I do it once, I could probably get 1 fish, but I will probably don't get anything at all. If I continue to do that and fish and fish and fish all day long and try 100 times with the right equipment, I will probably get a nice result, right? A sales manager said to me the other day, I want CRM to track what my people are doing. And I want to do that to find out, are they doing the right thing? Are they visiting the right customers? Is the lack of result, is that based on their lack of effort? Or is it based on my fault, that I didn't give them the right training, the right pipeline tool? I didn't equip them with a CRM tool. Could it be my fault? And they are actually running as hell, right? But they're missing systems too. They are forgetting about a pipe opportunity at a Christmas party, right? So he actually was talking about a guy who was visiting car dealers, and this guy here actually didn't have that much result, and he said to that guy, could you please get from 4 meetings a week to 8 meetings? That could probably, the effort I'm talking about here, that could probably change the way you are selling here. Maybe you can get better results. No problem, this guy says, no problem. I'll get 8 meetings for you. Perfect. And after a meeting or 2 without a CRM system, he didn't get, after a month or 2, he didn't see any benefits. And he said to this guy, how come that you have 8 meetings? Because you're showing me in Excel spreadsheet that you have 8 meetings. But how come that you're not selling anything at all? Why is it still the same? And this salesperson said, I don't know why. But could I go with you on meetings? Yeah, of course. And they went out to a car dealer shop, and at this car dealer shop, they came in and said, hi, how are you doing? And the sales manager could see that this sales guy knows this customer. That's good. But it was actually a little bit too good, because on the wall in this car dealer shop, coffee cups was hanging. And actually there was a coffee cup with his name on it. So he was picking down his cup and put in some coffee and went out in the shop and talked to the guys at this car dealer here. And he said, okay, if you're visiting the same customers so much that you have your own coffee cup, I don't think we can sell more to them. I think you should visit some new customers. So could you please visit 8 customers and only visit this car dealer shop 2 times a week instead of 5 times a week? No problem. And he did that. The story is that all this process about handling this for a sales manager is taking so long time, and he don't have any information. They are not sharing any information. I'm not sure they even have a common goal. But with a CRM tool, he could see what is actually working on. What kind of customers is it that we are visiting? Are those customers actually the right customers? Due to the segmentation we just had before. He's visiting 8 customers, yeah, nice. But is it the right 8 customers you are spending your time on? If you don't have a CRM system, it will be very difficult to know that and to work out of that scope. So if you want revenue or contribution margin or whatever you want, the efforts could be how many visits do we have? How many phone calls do we make, right? How many RFP are we actually answering on, right? Are we winning any of them? But it could also be, what is our sales method? What is our product knowledge? What kind of tools are we using? So it could be that this is actually pretty good, but the problem is over here, right? But if you don't know anything about what's going on with your salespeople, and they're just running around without being at the right customers and not sharing anything with you, how are you going to make it better? And how are you able to make it better for the salespeople? And the salespeople want to use CRM because they want to do it better. Because if they do it better, they get a better bonus. This is one of the last one I have. And this is our sales pipeline, right? Some have sales pipeline, some don't at all. But if you have a sales pipeline, it could probably look like this. In a lot of companies, it does. And the manager is saying, what's going on in the middle? And the guy over here, the sales, it could be the boss, and the sales manager over here says, I wish I knew, boss. Because we're actually doing a good marketing, right? We get a lot of customers in our pipeline. But in some of our steps, it's not working here because there's only a few of them coming out with a contract. If you don't have a CRM system to monitor your pipeline and see what's actually going on and how is cases that's going in actually being moved in the pipeline, you don't know what to do better. You don't know how to change it because it was just stuck in the middle somewhere, right? So if you can say it's actually here is going bad. It's after our second meeting. It's our first meeting. It is when answering an RFP is going bad. We can actually do something about it. But you need to have the information, and you need to share it with your management so you can do something about it. That's why people buy CRM. I sent this presentation to Tina, and she can forward it to you. No worries about that. I could also be talking about how many customers we have. I don't. I could be talking about how we are positioned in the quadrant. I don't. I could tell you about how all our customers is using CRM. I don't, but you can read about it later. There's a link on all this. And with that, I just want to say, if our goal is to sell more stuff to our customers, we will compete on price. But if our goal is to add value to our customers' lives, then we will end up selling more stuff. And that's a word from me. And I'll give the next presentation to Henrik, my colleague.